Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. I am Aozander. You, our viewer, are you. We will be joined by the Golden Loon here soonly. Today is Tears This Day, aka Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. You know, we have a 27-page document today, actually. That's really low. We went from 43 yesterday, or was it 48? I don't remember. But damn near half. So, did you hear what I just said, Loon?
You have 70 pages?
No, 27.
Oh, 27.
27-page document. That's a little on the low side, you know, when you think about it, the past month.
70 I was going to check out.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could do another 55 again. So, anyway, starting off in the year 193, Roman Emperor Didius Julianus was assassinated 66 days into his reign.
Oh, jeez.
That's... Hold on a second. Didius, like P. Diddy? Like, it's weird.
No relation, I'm sure.
And he's just 1/6 short of the number of the beast. So I don't know. That's a little weird, actually. Right out of the gate, we have something very odd. 260, Sima Zhao's regicide of Cao Mao. The figurehead Wei Emperor Cao Mao personally led an attempt to oust his regent, Sima Shao. The attempted coup was crushed and the emperor was killed. Wow. Why would the emperor try to kill a subordinate? You know, like in that manner, you know, like just order them dead. Like, you know, like what? Why not? You know, you're the freaking emperor. That's weird. 455, King Gaiseric and the Vandals sacked Rome. Looting continues for 14 days. Yeah. 1098, First Crusade. The first siege of Antioch ended as Crusader forces took the city. The second siege began 5 days later. Why? Like, did they...
Took the city.
They took the city. Well, did the Muslim forces come back and take it? Or, like, start the second siege?
Not
like,
clear. Not clear at all.
That's weird. You know? 1608, the Colony of Virginia... I guess colony? Colony of Virginia got a charter extending borders from sea to sea. Huh.
What?
Borders.
I got borders, but from sea to sea.
Yeah.
Sea to sea?
So this is...
Not Virginia.
Yeah. This is weird. And that's from the secondary source. One moment. Like, let me look this up really quick on the secondary source. Give me one moment. Events. This is what? 1608? The colony of Virginia got a charter, so it is colony. Extending borders from sea to sea. What the hell does that mean? It's on one sea. That's weird. Yeah. Anyway, 1639, secret Dutch expedition to find the gold and silver islands departed Batavia, led by Matthijs Henderzoon Kwast and Abel Tasman, thought to lay east of Japan. It was never found. Yeah. 1676, battle at Palermo. French forces defeated the Dutch and Spanish fleet. So,
a lot of stuff goes on in Palermo, doesn't it?
Yeah. Franco-Dutch War. France ensured the supremacy of its naval fleet for the remainder of the war with its victory in the Battle of Palermo. 1692, Bridget Bishop was the first person to be tried for witchcraft in Salem, Massachusetts. She was found guilty the same day and hanged on June 10th, so 8 days. That's terrible. Yeah. But that was when we were British colonies, so we can't really blame the United States. We didn't exist for another 100 years. Literally. Like 1797, you know, we were just started. So, yeah. 1763, Pontiac's Rebellion, and what is now Mackinac City in Michigan, Chippewas captured Fort Michilimackinac, that's a heck of a word, by diverting the garrison's attention with a game of lacrosse, then chasing the ball into the fort. Oh, you tricky little devils. Isn't that hilarious? Strategic lacrosse, that's awesome. 1774, Intolerable Acts. Amendment to the original Quartering Act was enacted, allowing governors in colonial America to house British soldiers in uninhabited houses, outhouses, barns, or other buildings if suitable quarters not provided. How would you like to be the schmuck in the uniform to sleep in an outhouse? Man, why not just sleep on the ground, you know? Like,
yeah, I think that would be my preference.
Yeah. I'd rather risk, you know, getting eaten by ants than literally surrounded by the smell of piss, you know, and worse. 1780, anti-Catholic demonstration attacked Parliament in London. So the anti-Catholic Gordon riots in London left an estimated 300 to 700 people dead, according to the other source. Wow, so that got real. 1793, during the French Revolution, Francois Henriot, leader of the Prussian National Guard, arrested 22 Girondins selected by Jean-Paul Marat, setting the stage for the Reign of Terror. Yeah, the Reign of Terror, I think, is when they just started, like, using the guillotine, you know, like it was going out of style.
They terrorized, that's what it means.
Yep. In 1797, surveyor Charles Broadhead achieved the first ascent of Giant Mountain at 4,626 feet in Adrianoch, New York, the first of any Adrianoch high peak. Okay. 1835, P.T. Barnum and his circus began the first tour of New York.
Wow.
Oh, this is the sack of Antioch.
Oh, okay,
One of that earlier. So here we go. Barnum and Bailey, greatest show on earth. Elephant comedians are wonderful football playing elephants. Like, if they actually operated like that, that would have been a sight to behold.
Well, they probably did.
Well, yeah, pass the ball. But like, they're not standing up in uniforms and like taking a field.
Of course
So
not.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they actually did do that, that'd be awesome. 1851, first U.S. alcohol prohibition law enacted in Maine. 4 years later, the Portland rum riot occurred in Portland, Maine. More Maine.
There you go, they're rioting.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of weird. 1857, James Gibbs of Virginia patented the chin stitch single thread sewing machine. The chain stitch, not chin stitch. Why didn't I look that up for a thumbnail earlier? I guess I didn't even see that. I got, just a sewing machine. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What else we got here? 1858, Donate comet first seen, named after its discoverer. All right, so I must have, found it, Donate.
Yeah.
1862, Robert E. Lee took command of the Confederate armies of North Virginia during the American Civil War. 1 year later, good old Harriet Tubman led Union guerrillas into Maryland, freeing slaves. Heck yeah. We were talking about her the other day.
Yeah.
We were talking about a lot of blacks in history, even in Black History Month and such, go ignored. Like, everybody knows about MLK. A lot of people know about Malcolm X.
That's all pretty recent history.
It astonished me you didn't know about George Washington Carver.
Yeah.
But like, who knows about Harriet Tubman? Who knows about oh crap, I'm
Apparently you don't either.
The guy who worked with Lincoln.
That was Washington. Yeah.
What?
That was who you just mentioned.
No, George Washington Carver was the botanist who invented peanut butter, among thousands of other.
I'm getting him mixed up.
What was his name?
I'm at a loss then. I don't know.
See?
I don't remember. Anyways, there are some great blacks in the history of the United States.
Well, there's great everybody in the history of every country, especially more recently. But why can't I remember his name? It's like it's in the back of my head. Black guy worked with Lincoln. What was his name? Not that guy. Is that him?
That looks like him right there.
Yeah.
You're not telling us the name though.
Yeah. Well, it'll come to me. No. Anyway, 1865, Confederate General Edmund Kirby Smith surrendered his Trans-Mississippi Department to Union forces at Galveston, Tejas. He then fled to Mexico to avoid charges of treason. What a coward. Still trying to...
You don't want to be killed. Treason, they'd kill you.
Yeah. No, I'm still trying to think of that guy's name.
Oh.
Frederick Douglass. There we go. 1869.
That was a picture of him, by the way.
Yeah. 1869, Cleveland's Forest City played their first baseball game against the Cincinnati Red Stockings. All right. Let's see here. Scanning for comments. No comments yet. What else do we got here? 1871, Nevada State Senate convicted Governor David Butler in impeachment trial on charges of using some of the state school fund for personal use. The state Supreme Court then removed him from office. Yeah, that's embezzling. 1873, wouldn't that be malfeasance? Like, or something?
Embezzling, I guess.
Yeah.
And they removed him. I don't know what else they could do. Maybe say they
What
could
is-
send him to jail.
What is malfeasance and what's corporate malfeasance?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I don't remember.
Yeah, now I want to know.
Oh, God.
What is malfeasance? Wrongdoing, especially U.S. by a public official. Okay, so I'm kind of right.
Yeah, you are. You're dead on.
Yeah. What else we got here? 1873, construction began on Clay Street in San Francisco for world's first cable railroad. Yeah. We've been on that, right?
Yeah.
Like, we've been on a rail car once, but but we've driven around San Francisco.
Oh, we've been on the cable cars for sure.
Yeah.
We took them down to the Fisherman's Wharf and back.
Look, they had options for indoor and outdoor seating. That's awesome. So, if you're going to be on there for like a long haul, then you just go in, get out of the sun, relax. 1875, Alexander Graham Bell made his first sound transmission. Awesome. 1883, the first night baseball under lights in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So it's the first ever, or the first in Fort Wayne? Because I'm pretty sure we've had first night games before.
This says first night baseball under lights, and then it says where. So
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
So I'd say it was the first one.
Well,
but I like playing under the lights. We have the much technology. Better than during the day.
First night baseball game. Night game. Sports. First night game by each Major League Baseball team. No. Okay. Australia football. Baseball game. Okay. Played under electric lighting in 1880. Okay. Well, that's a year I was talking. Yada yada. It would take another 50 years before organized baseball was sanctioned night baseball. In 1892, the Texas Legion's Houston Buffaloes played a night game using arc lights. And that's 92. We just read 83. Okay. And it just continues on from there. So maybe it is. Oh, we're going to have to delve deeper into that. If anybody wants to look into that, let us know in the comment section. Not just for your information or for ours, but anybody else watching this who'd like to know. Start getting involved in the articles. 1883, Chicago's elevated train system, the L, opened to traffic. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll get to yeah.
That wasn't the L.
No, that was not the, it was an L, but not the L. But yeah, I looked at this image, but I'm not sure if that's the L. I mean, that is,
it's elevated for sure.
But not that original line.
Right, obviously not.
Well, I'm not sure. So, I don't want to put...
That doesn't look like original car.
Well, no, obviously not. But if it's the original line, even if it's been completely... It's still even... I only put stuff in the thumbnail that has any shred, of tangibility to the actual thing. If something talks about a Boeing, I don't throw up, a freaking biplane. I want to throw up the actual Boeing. 1896, Italian engineer and inventor Guglielmo Marconi applied for the first ever patent for a system of wireless telegraphy in the United Kingdom. Although I can't read today. Yeah, telegraphy, telegraph wires. 1899, black stadiums observe a day of fasting to protest against lynchings. I would do more.
It's a good protest.
Yeah, I would do more than just fast, dude. People are dying. I don't know. And 1901, Benjamin Adams arrested for playing golf on Sunday in New York. Yeah, the whole Christian thing. 1903, first patent for adrenaline, epinephrine, was granted to Japanese stadium chemist Jokichi Takamine. All right, adrenaline. 1904, German professor Otto von Schron gave a public demonstration of a microbe that caused phthisis or pulmonary tuberculosis.
Yikes. Now,
according to other source, he found the microbe that caused photosynthesis. Wait, what? Hold up. Wait, what? That's weird. Hold on. Let me double check my primary source, because these are two entirely different things. Unless he gave the lecture and then he just so happened to discover something on that same day. That'd be very, very coincidental. This is 1909, right? Okay. No, that's 1910. No, it's not here. It's gone. What the hell? Oh, well, it's 1904. What? No, it's still not here. So, okay, that's weird. It's the same guy, though. Otto von Schron.
Yeah.
Huh. That's really odd. If anybody wants to look into this, German professor Otto von Schron gave a public demonstration of a microbe that caused pulmonary tuberculosis, but also apparently he found the microbe that caused photosynthesis on the same calendar date, same year.
That's kind of weird.
That's weird. Yeah. 1909, first round trip over... Actually, no, the wrong one. That's 1910. 1909, Alfred Deakin became Prime Minister of Australia for the third time. 1910, first round trip flight over English Channel, CS Rolls, England. So Charles Rolls, a co-founder of Rolls-Royce Limited, became the first man to make a non-stop double crossing of the English Channel by crane. Plane. Not crane or train.
Are you telling me he just did a U-turn and came back
essentially,
without stopping?
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
Just to, I guess, get the record. 1910, pygmies were discovered in Dutch New Guinea. And why can't I read today? 1913, first strike settlement mediated by U.S. Department of Labor railroad clerks. Yeah. Demonstrations for general voting rights in Netherlands. I'm really having a problem. 1914, Glenn Curtiss flew his Langley Aerodrome. I gotta look that up. It's obviously an aircraft. I mean,
sounds like the Airbus, you know. For
yeah.
The camper, the Airbus.
That's
camper.
weird.
Oh, look at that.
That's wow. Huh.
That's an engineer that built that baby. Good Lord.
Yeah, but he has pedals.
Engineered.
Wait, does he have pedals? No, he doesn't have pedals. I can't tell from that distance. But I mean, like, that's wild. Well, there's a propeller on this picture, so maybe he does have a power source. That's wild. What else we got here? 1916, during the Battle of Verdun, German troops under Lieutenant Rakow launched an attack on Fort Vaux with flamethrowers, forcing French defenders inside. The fort changed hands 16 times during the entire Battle of Verdun. Wow. 1917, Canadian ace Billy Bishop undertook a solo mission behind enemy lines, shooting down 3 aircraft as they were about to take off and several more on the ground, for which he was awarded the Victoria Cross. All right. 1919, anarchists simultaneously set off bombs in 8 separate U.S. cities. I'd like to know which cities. So, 1922, MLB first baseman Stuffy McGinnis ended an airless string of 1,700 chances while playing for the Boston Red Sox in 1921, and then the Cleveland Indians in 1922. 24, President Calvin Coolidge signed the Indian Citizenship Act, also known as Snyder Act, declaring all Native Americans to be U.S. citizens. So, granting citizenship to all native-born, or all Native Americans born within the territorial limits of the United States. So, if you're indigenous but you're up in Canada or Mexico, this does not apply. So, or anywhere else really in the world. 28, Kraft, building into the original 1918 design, rolled out Velveeta cheese. Oh, Velveeta. 1930.
Probably have the first block that was ever made. It still hasn't gone bad.
Yeah. 1930, Sarah Dickinson became the first woman U.S. Presbyterian elder in Cincinnati, Ohio. Excellent. 32, fisherman George W. Perry caught the world record largemouth bass weighing in at 22 pounds 4 ounces at Lake Montgomery in Georgia. I wonder if that record has since been broken. 1933, FDR authorized the first swimming pool built inside the White House.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All the way in 33, though. That seems a little late. So, you know?
Why would it seem late?
33? I mean, we didn't have swimming pool technology until 1933.
Well, he's the first one that wanted to put one in.
Yeah. But,
doesn't mean they couldn't have put one in earlier.
True. I mean, I'm just wondering, like, when were swimming pools invented? Like, you know, and then again, it's just a hole in the ground. So, like, you know, like, when does just a straight up...
some of those estates in Beverly Hills and all that go back into the 20s, they had pools.
Oh, you know, like, another question for the viewers. When was the theoretical first pool, like, you know, like, built with, like, you know, pool materials, not necessarily concrete or anything, but, like, what would be...
Most likely it'd be tile.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that goes all the way back to ancient Roman times.
True.
Yeah. So, wow, okay. 1935...
Bath is a good example of that in England.
Yeah. Well, you know,
the Roman baths.
Yeah. Well, Bath, yeah. Oh. 1935, future Baseball Hall of Fame slugger Babe Ruth announced his retirement as a player at 40 years of age. That is up there. 41, during World War II, German paratroopers murdered Greek civilians in the villages of Condamari and Alikianos. So rest in peace, those poor villagers. 42, Red Sox star Ted Williams enlisted as a U.S. Navy aviator. Huh, pretty cool.
Yeah.
44, Herzogenabusch concentration camp near Voet in the Netherlands was disbanded by Allied forces, one of two SS-run camps outside Germany. All right. Loons time! 1946, Italian plebiscite chose Republic over monarchy. This is their national day. So we have the birth of the Italian Republic! So you share a birth year with Italy.
Italiano.
Hey, we should celebrate with the ravioli and the napa later. Actually, that's for tomorrow. Birth of the Italian Republic. In a referendum, Italians voted to turn Italy from a monarch into a republic. After the referendum, King Umberto II of Italy was exiled. Yikes.
They didn't kill him.
Yeah, true. 1951, Pope Pius XII published encyclical Evangelii Peregrinans. I'm going to look that up here really quick just to see, because you know how I like looking up these holy memos. A lot of the articles, surprisingly though, because I remember up until recently, they don't really tell what they were, or at least give a hint. More often than not, though, for the past year, ever since we restarted on January 1st, the majority of encyclicals actually have at least a hint about what they're about, and that's relatively new. Oh. So, our primary source, I'm not sure, they might be watching us, and seeing that they're actually getting used and everything. So, we better keep up to date. But anyway, in it, he described the necessity, improvements, and changes, and the persecution of the church in some parts of the world. The encyclical was issued in commemoration of the 25th anniversary of the encyclical Rerum Ecclesiae by his predecessor, Pope Pius XI. It is sometimes identified as the first of 5 papal encyclicals issued between 1919 and 1959 that redefined the church's missionary role. Interesting. So if anybody wants to read more about this, actually, I'm going to start the underbar description section here. And these links that we collect throughout the show, as I mentioned before, we put them in the underbar section after the live stream, not during it. But we already do have a couple interesting links down there, including my limited to our sources and all things on the coalition. Anyway, moving on up to 1952, 650,000 metal workers went on strike in the U.S. That is a lot.
Yeah.
And I wonder why, for how long? Wages, hours,
working condition, who knows?
Yeah. So, 52 as well, Maurice Oley of General Motors began designing the Corvette. Good old vet. Yeah.
It came out in 53, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the first year of the Corvette.
Oh, that's where they started. 53, coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in Westminster Abbey, London, England. One of the first major international events to be televised. Huh. And apparently that was the first British coronation. Well, ever? According to secondary source, it says here the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in Westminster Abbey became the first British coronation. That can't be right.
No.
Maybe at Westminster Abbey specifically, but even then, I don't know. So, another question for the viewers, if they so happen to look into that, let us know. What the heck is that? 1955, the USSR and Yugoslavia signed the Belgrade Declaration and thus normalized relations between both countries, discontinued since 1948. So this is when they restarted it.
Yeah.
57, US TV interviewed Nikita Khrushchev. Ooh. 58, Brooks Robinson hit first of recorded 4 triple plays. Hit into first of recorded 4 triple plays. We also have Yankees pitcher Whitey Ford fanned 6 in a row tie an American League record. Nice. 1962, Ray Charles' cover of Don Gibson, I Can't Stop Loving You, from his influential crossover album Modern Sounds of Country and Western Music, hit #1 on Billboard. Excellent. Nice. Yeah. 62 as well, during the FIFA World Cup, police intervened multiple times in fights between Chilean and Italian players in one of the most violent games in football history. Wow. 2 years later, the Palestine Liberation Organization, the PLO, was formed. Haven't we covered this the past couple of...
We have.
Yeah. So when did it form?
Yeah.
Does it have 3 birthdays? What the fuck? 65, second of 2 cyclones in less than a month killed 35,000 people in the Ganges River region, India.
Cyclone over there.
Yep. Yeah.
Not a cyclone here.
Yeah. Well, well, over here it's a tropical storm.
Well, no, it's got to get up to a certain speed.
Well, no.
Tropical storm first.
Well, no. In the Pacific, a hurricane is called a tropical storm. A tropical storm in the Atlantic is called a hurricane. Oh, it's literally the same exact thing, just because of region differences, they have different names.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, you know what? Let's look this up. What's the difference between tropical storm, typhoon, hurricane, and cyclone? All right. Hurricanes versus typhoons versus cyclones. Difference between the hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones all look and act the same with maximum winds of at least 74 miles per hour or 64 knots. The key difference is what part of the world they are located.
There you go. You're absolutely right.
Hurricanes, North Atlantic, Eastern North Pacific Ocean, Central North Pacific Ocean, and on rare occasions the South Atlantic Ocean. Typhoons, Western Pacific Ocean, which is not us, that's Asia.
Yeah.
Cyclones, Western South Pacific Ocean, and Indian Ocean. So that's us. So hold on a second. It says Eastern North Pacific Ocean. So that's us. So we do get hurricanes.
Yeah. So it's not a tropical storm.
Okay.
Tropical storm is before it hits 75 miles an hour.
Okay. So you were right,
Yeah.
and I corrected you wrongly with facts that were for something else
hear that?
completely. Well, I said we were both
You
right.
admit it.
I said
It wasn't a full apology, but I'll take it. The fact that I got you were right.
66 U.S. Surveyor 1 landed on Oceanus Procellarum, the first lunar soft landing. All right, excellent. 67 Capitol Records released Beatle album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band in the U.S. It is their first album with identical track listings in the U.S. and the U.K. and went on to #1 for 15 weeks in the U.S. and 22 weeks in the U.K.
About this yesterday.
Well, we've spoken about this thing for like 5 times in the past 3 weeks. It's ridiculous. 67, Louis Mongdi was executed in Colorado's gas chamber in the last pre-Furman execution in the U.S. Pre-Furman. What's Furman? What's
burning people or something?
pre-Furman? Like was
Gas?
fermentation? Like
I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with
Pre-Furman
gas.
execution.
The last time the gas.
Oh, it's a legal case. Furman versus Georgia. It was a landmark criminal case in which the United States Supreme Court decided that arbitrary and inconsistent imposition of the death penalty violates the 8th and 14th Amendments and constitutes cruel and unusual punishment. Huh. Like, well, that would make sense. Yeah, gas chamber, you're like choking and suffering and everything. So
that was the last execution
before they
Furman.
Yeah, pre this.
Yeah.
So
Before
Furman versus what was the name here? Oh, damn it, no. There we go. Georgia. There. Alright, what else do we got here? Get rid of that, get rid of that. Oh, did not do that. 1967, protests in West Berlin against the arrival of the Shah of Iran were brutally suppressed, during which Benno Ozgurg was killed by a police officer. His death resulted in the founding of the terrorist group 2 June Movement. Ugh.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, of course, they suppressed it. You know, like, you know, this is what happens when the government doesn't listen to the people. Like, you know, then they start killing people, they start creating terrorist organizations, you know? Like, when the people can't rely on those that are supposed to be the representatives, well, they're going to turn around and start eating. So, 68, Canadians must get government permission to export silver. That's bullshit. 69.
They're not leaving the country.
Yep. 1969, Australian aircraft carrier HMAS Melbourne sliced U.S. destroyer USS Frank E. Evans in half, killing 74 people in South Vietnam. And that's but cut a destroyer in half. Like, I mean, didn't really like tickle the freaking like aircraft carrier. You know, that's a heavy damage.
Yeah.
You know, get
very heavy damage.
We need some Flex Seal on that. You know, get Phil Swift. That's a lot of damage. Well, that's what happened. I guess that's the destroyer.
That's what it hit.
Yeah. Well, apparently it cut a destroyer in half, and I'm trying to see images of the destroyer cut in half. Is that it? Yeah, that looks like it's cut in half. That's pretty half to me. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. What is this? U.S. Navy destroyer collided with an Australian aircraft carrier, taking 74 lives, including 3 brothers, Gary, Greg, and Kelly Jostage. But still, their names are not on the memorial wall because the ship was outside. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? They were involved in this stuff. Put them on the wall.
Yeah.
Put them on the wall. Man, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Bro, like, why the fuck were they on that ship to begin with? Hello? You know? In 74, Mali adopted the Constitution, and Malta's Constitution also went into effect. Also, Mali and Malta. 75, first recorded snowfall in London in June. Ah, look at that. Global cooling.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh no, it's global warming. Oh wait, no, it's climate change. We're just gonna change the stuff so that way we can retain our power. You know.
I lived through both of those.
You lived through all three.
Yeah, I'm living through the third one now. But
global cooling, global warming, and then when they realized that both,
climate change.
that they're when they became self-aware that they're just full of horse shit. They then they were like, oh, we need something to cover our ass so the plebs can't sniff onto us.
Climate will never stay absolute.
No,
it's always going to change.
Yeah, and like, let's not get into that.
Yeah.
75, James A. Healy, the first black Roman Catholic bishop, consecrated in Maine. All right. 75 as well, VP Rockefeller found no pattern of illegal activities at CIA. Of course he did. 75 as well, RCA released David Bowie's single Fame. In the U.S., the song, which became a cameo appearance by John Lennon, became Bowie's first #1 hit. You remember that song?
Yes, I do.
It's a good song. 76, East Timor People's Assembly accepted the annexation by Indonesia. All right. 77, New Jersey allowed casino gambling in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
1979, John Paul II became the first pope to visit a communist country, Poland. That's to be expected. That's where he came from. Like, that's pretty cool, though. 79, Los Angeles Mayor Tom Bradley signed the first homosexual rights bill. Cool. 81, Barbara Walters famously asked Katharine Hepburn, quote, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? End quote. What is with women and asking these stupid-ass questions like that?
And her nickname, of course, was Barbara Wawa.
Yeah. It's like, if I were a woman, would you still love me? Are you stupid? What the fuck? Like, what a dumbass question. 83, 1980 movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was released in Germany, of all places. It's a weird place. Why Germany?
I don't know.
I mean, legitimately, that's weird. So, did you see it?
I did. I did.
And that's literally the next article. 83, a toilet caught fire on Air Canada's DC-9. 23 died at Cincinnati.
Whoa.
Yeah. So after an emergency landing because of an in-flight fire, 23 passengers aboard Air Canada Flight 797 were killed when a flashover occurred at the plane's doors open. Because of this incident, numerous new safety regulations were put in place. So that sounds like a backdraft.
Yeah.
Because the airplane was pressurized. So it sounds like as soon as they opened the door, that opened up a new portal, and the fire just went, and all those people, like, if you've ever seen the movie Backdraft, that's some scary shit right there. No pun intended. So
I think that backdraft was pretty accurate.
Yeah.
As far as what fire will do.
How would fire, dude? Like in the end, the final scene when he's fighting, and the fire's just up on the ceiling, and it's all.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's a boss, and it's squaring up. It's like, yo, let's fight, let's go. Like he's fighting nature itself. Like. What else we got here? 84, Welcome to Fun Zone, hosted by Dr. Demento, aired on NBC TV. What, Dr. Demento, wasn't he the guy that Weird Al listened to? Or something?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. And, just so that way people know, backdraft of Final Fire. Like, I just want to show, what it was that I was talking about. Like, just, so that way there's some visual context to how the actual fire looks. Spoiler warning. Well, let's see here. Where is this?
I don't know it was the last fire. But...
No, this is the last fire. So, check this out. Does that not look like a boss is getting ready to kick you? Like, oh my god. What else do we got here? 1985, C.J. Reynolds Company proposed a merger with Nabisco. R.J. Reynolds, not C.J. Blah. 86, regular TV coverage of U.S. Senate sessions began. All right, let the people sit in, metaphorically. Ayo's time, 1987, Mariners draft Ken Griffey Jr. #1.
Okay.
Oh, that's a heck of an Ayo's time article right there. 88, 61st National Spelling Bee, Ragashri Ramakasharidan won spelling Iglesia. Huh. Or Iglesia? El Iglesia? I can't even pronounce the damn thing. 88, Consumer Reports called for a ban on the Suzuki Samurai automobile. Do we have any comments here? Nope, nothing on YouTube. Anything on Rumble? Nope. All right. We also have 89, Dead Poet Society, directed by Peter Weir and starring Robin Williams and Ethan Hawke, premiered in the U.S. Sounds like an interesting movie.
It was all right.
'89 as well. 10,000 Chinese soldiers were blocked by 100,000 citizens in Tiananmen Square, Beijing, protecting students demonstrating for democracy. That's what they need in China. That's what we need all over the world. You know, people stand up enough. And they're finally doing something with all the text editors and the flock cameras. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening. You know, the cities are already getting fed up with the flock cameras.
What are flock cameras?
Like, it's basically like it's the police utilizing a third. Well, the third party went to the police, obviously, but they're setting up cameras. And it's a whole system. Like, you know, if somebody's in the system, yada yada, then it'll notify police that this person is in the area. You know, so like if somebody has a car stolen or whatever. But in some states, like the state pertaining to the story that I was watching specifically, if your license plate has like a 0 in it, like, you know, and you know, some other license plates might have an O or a 0, they put in both under a warrant. And then the cops, they realize that, you know, this license plate with a warrant last spotted over here. So then the cop goes, pulls it over, and if it's erroneous, then they're wasting all that time and all that stuff. You know, and they're also...
That happened with what kind of camera?
A flock camera.
Flock.
Yeah, it's a whole new thing. I don't even, you know, I'm not even entirely aware fully, you know, myself. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so much horrible, like, dystopian shit is happening quickly, and it's too much. You know, like, too much is happening to keep up. What else do we got here? 1989, Cincinnati Red, Eric David hits for the line. All right. It's a cycle. 1990, Turtle Power by Partners in Crime, hit number 13. All right, I gotta play a little bit of that. So, where is that? You know what that song is? It's way after your time.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Ninja Turtles, though.
Yeah, I know the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, that song. You know, I'm gonna add this in the underbar section. I'll listen to it after the show. Turtle Power. There we go. What else do we got here? Move you over here. 1990 as well, the Lower Ohio Valley tornado outbreak spawned 66 confirmed twisters in Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, killing 12 people. Wow. 91, Sports Children's Miracle Network Telethon. Doesn't tell us how much it raised. What the hell? That's the first time it's done that.
What?
Like, not tell us how much it raised.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, be it this telethon or what's his face's telethon, you know, and like, what was that guy? You know, we've covered a lot of his his stuff that he's done before.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the same telethon. It might be a different one.
Well, but we've covered the Children's Miracle Network telethon.
Yeah, okay.
This is the first time it's not
given...
told in any capacity with any telethon. It has not told us how much. That's the whole point of having a telethon. Tell us why it's existing. You know, like 91 as well. 3 Andretti's finished 1, 2, 3 in the Miller 200 at Wisconsin. Andretti's?
Race cars.
Oh, okay. 92, Ringo Starr, second All-Star band debuted in concert. Members include Joe Walsh, Dave Edmonds, Todd Ruddigan, Burden Cummings, Timothy B. Schmidt, Zach Starkey, and Timmy Capello. 94, 67th National Spelling Bee. Ned Andrews won spelling antediluvian. How do I know that word? Antediluvian.
I don't know.
Like, that's, like, I've heard that word before, and that's how I can pronounce it. Antediluvian. What is antediluvian? The antediluvian period is a time period chronicled in the Bible between the fall of man and the Genesis flood narrative in biblical cosmology. Oh, okay, yeah. So I've heard it from like a bunch of random videos talking about, during the antediluvian period, not knowing what it meant, but I've heard it. So now I understand. You know what? I'm going to look that up again and bring that into the underbar section if anybody else wants to know more about that. So, antediluvian. There we go. And link, copy, paste. There we go. Moving on up, what else do we got here? 1994, Chinook helicopter crash in North Scotland. 29 were killed. That's really a Chinook though. That's really odd. Like,
it's a big helicopter.
Yeah. 94 as well. Sharon Stone filed a $12 million lawsuit against her jeweler. Why? That's wild. Well, okay. 95, John Valentine hit 3 home runs. Okay. 97, Albert Bill's Chicago White Sox tying 27-game hitting streak ended. We also have Timothy McVeigh found guilty of 1995 Oklahoma City bombings that killed 168 people. He was convicted in Denver on 11 counts of murder and conspiracy for his role in the 1995 bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, in which 168 people died. He was executed 4 years later.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, good. Yeah, it took him too long, but at least, you know, better late than never. 98, the CIH computer virus was discovered in Taiwan. I wonder, you know, like what it did, how much damage it did, if anything. What was it programmed to do? So, 98 as well, Space Shuttle Discovery was launched on STS-91, the final mission of the Shuttle Mir program. 1 year after that, the Bhutan Broadcasting Service began television transmission to the kingdom for the first time. Bhutan, I don't know. 2002, crime drama The Wire, created by David Simon and starring Idris Elba and Dominic West, debuted on HBO. The Wire. I've heard about that. 2003, Europe launched its first voyage to another planet, Mars. The European Space Agency's Mars Express probe launched from the Baikonur Space Center in Kazakhstan. 1 year after that, 2004, Ken Jennings began his 74-game winning streak on the syndicated television game show Jeopardy! Ah. Yeah, that guy. Wow, like, he has a face for radio. And not to knock him, but seriously, like, that's not the best photograph. 2009, Switzerland officially entered the global recession. 2012, former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak was sentenced to life imprisonment for his role in the killing of demonstrators during the 2011 Egyptian Revolution. Yikes. 2014, Telangana, with Hyderabad as its capital, became India's 29th state after it separated from Andhra Pradesh. Alright. The unity government was sworn into power in Palestine. It agreed to the following: recognition of Israel, compliance of diplomatic agreements, and renunciation of violence. Okay. 2015, 100 volunteers in Bhutan set a world record of tree planting, 49,672 for 1 hour. So, like, you know, in 1 hour they planted 100 people, planted 49,672 trees. They're screaming. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And
by the way, the other one, that was the PLO's beginning of their downfall in Palestine, with Hamas coming
to replace them.
Because they didn't like the deal.
Yeah. And we have, I just realized we have 2 Bhutan articles today. That's pretty cool. Bhutan's, getting lit up. So, 2015, FIFA president Sepp Blatter. What the heck? Did we talk about him the other day? Sepp Blatter? Like, that's a weird name. Announced his resignation 5 days after his re-election amid FIFA's involvement in a bribery scandal. Yeah, we 5 days ago, I remember, last name Blatter, you know? Like okay. where you're in the store.
Yeah.
Like, U.S. Congress passed new legislation to reform National Security Agency procedures, restricting gathering of phone records. 2017, Wonder Woman, directed by Patty Jenkins, was released, earning over $100 million in North America, and its opening weekend, domestic record for female director. All right, better than me. 2018, Ringo Starr's 13th All-Star Band debuted in concert. Members include Steve Lukather, Greg Rowley, Colin Hay, Graham Goldman, Greg Bissonette, and Warren Ham. Warren Ham? I'd rather be wearing bacon. So, 2020, UN Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet said pandemic exposing endemic inequalities around the world, cites death of George Floyd, aka Saint Fentanyl, and higher death toll for ethnic minorities. Yeah, they're saying, that the Kung Flu, like, somehow a freaking disease discerns your skin color and kills you more. Fucking stupid. Like, how bad of a victim mentality do you have where you think nature itself is racist against you? Wow. Stupid. 2022, jury in defamation case brought by Johnny Depp against ex-wife Amber Heard awarded Depp $15 million in damages and compensation and Heard $2 million in damages in Fairfax, Virginia. Amber Turd. You remember that? She shat on the bed or something?
I don't.
Apparently Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, like, they're boyfriend, girlfriend or something, or married, I don't know. And then they got into a whole domestic fight, and apparently, like, everything was falling apart already. And then she shat on this bed.
Wow.
Like, what a fucking, like, primate. 2022, Queen Elizabeth II marked her Platinum Jubilee with 4 days of celebration, starting with a military parade at Buckingham Palace. We also have following a request from Ankara, the United Nations officially changed the name of the Republic of Turkey in that organization from what was previously known as Turkey to Turkey. You know, like I can't. It's still pronounced Turkey,
right?
But it's just spelled differently.
Well, it's probably in their
where did it go?
In their own language.
Yeah.
Instead of in English.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like there's supposed to be like 2 dots above the U, so it's like Turkey or something. You know, so. 2023, a 3-train collision in India's Balasore district, Odisha state, left 288 people dead and more than 1,000 people injured in the country's worst rail accident in this century.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And this other source says 296 deaths as opposed to 288, and 1,200 injuries as opposed to 1,000. Dude, I mean, like, the train car is like, do you see how it's all bent right there?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Wow. 2023, U.S. Army renamed Fort Bragg in North Carolina as Fort Liberty as part of effort to remove Confederate names from military bases. Namesake Braxton Bragg served in the U.S. Army from 1837 to 56 and the Confederate Army 1861 to 65. So, you know, in this case, I would agree with this because he did serve for the U.S., but then he did serve for the Confederacy after. Yeah. He's a traitor. He does not deserve to be honored. You know, now, like, if there's, like, a statue to, like, you know, Robert E. Lee and everything, he was, you know, yeah, he owned slaves and everything, but then again, so did all the founding fathers, George Washington and all that stuff, so you can't use that as a valid excuse. Robert E. Lee is the only Southerner I actually respect because he didn't fight for the Confederacy because he believed in their cause. He fought for his state that joined the cause. He was fighting for his home, not for the ideology. So that's the only person I know of who deserves to have a statue at least. 2024 Chinese spacecraft Chang'e 6 successfully landed on the far side of the moon on a mission to analyze and collect rock samples. All right. We also have gymnast Simone Biles at the age of 21 won her record 9th U.S. championship in Fort Worth, Texas. It can't be her actual last name, Biles?
Yes, it is.
But really?
Yeah.
That's horrible. Wow. She must have been made fun of relentlessly in school. Like, hey, Biles, and vomit, you know, like, wow. I mean, yeah, I would have changed it myself, you know, personally. So, you know, kudos to her for still walking around with that. And last but not least, Mexico elected former mayor of Mexico City, Claudia Sheinbaum, as first woman president. Yeah. And, like, practically all, if not all of her political opponents all died in mysterious circumstances.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And, like...
She's still there today.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because she killed everybody. You know? It's... I'm not saying she did or she didn't, but, you know, put 2 and 2 together. Everybody but her died. Gee, I wonder who's doing all this.
That's speculation.
It's not speculation. It's obvious. So... Anyway, that'll be it. You know, the end for the show today. You know, once again, please check the other part of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including one that limited to all things on the coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion. But we got through all this. We still have 12 minutes till our hour, believe it or not. No.
Wow.
So yeah. It is up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, with a yearn to learn, to see outside what you think you know, to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from our own and find a better way to be better to one another. One last scan for comments. Nope. Okay. For your dose of past events daily, I heard that. We stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever it is, don't forget to look right and left, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! And stream.